Ida B. Wells was born in Holly Springs, Mississippi in 1862. Her parents were enslaved before the Civil War, however they were still able to raise 7 kids. Her mother was a famous cook while her father was an esteemed carpenter. The yellow fever epidemic swept through Holly Springs in 1874 and killed her parents and her youngest sibling when Wells was only 14 years old. Wells took the responsibility of her family and kept them together by obtaining a teaching job. She went to Rusk College to continue her education and later moved to Memphis to live with her aunt. After Wells moved to Memphis, she was exposed to the racial injustice and discrimination that was present in the United States of America. On March 4, 1884, she was ordered by the conductor of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad Company to give up her seat to a white man. She was told to go sit in the smoking car, which was already crowded with many passengers. Keeping in mind the 1875 Civil Rights Act, which banned racial discrimination like this, Wells boldly refused. She later wrote in her autobiography, The Crusade for Justice, "I refused," saying that the forward car closest to the locomotive was a smoker, and as I was in the ladies' car, I proposed to stay. The conductor tried to drag me out of the seat, but the moment he caught hold of my arm, I fastened my teeth in the back of his hand. I had braced my feet against the seat in front and was holding to the back, and as he had already been badly bitten, he didn't try it again by himself. He went forward and got the baggageman and another man to help him, and of course they succeeded in dragging me out. This injustice triggered Wells' career as a civil rights activist. She supported the moral and correct decisions and stood up for her fellow blacks. Ida B. Wells was friends with 3 successful black business owners who were named Thomas Moss, William Stewart, and Calvin McDowell. Their business excelled, and that made their rival grocery store, which was owned by 3 white men, fail. These white men led the attack on Moss, Stewart, and McDowell, who fired in efforts to defend themselves but were jailed for 3 days because of it. After this, they were shot and lynched by a violent mob. Wells wrote to the community leaders of Memphis through an article called The Free Speech on May 21, 1892, condemning them for their lack of acknowledgement of the lynching of these 3 black business owners. She looked more into lynching after the year of 1892, which is known to be the worst year of lynching in the United States of America. 161 blacks were lynched alone in just this one year. Wells began an anti-lynching crusade after this as well because she believed that it was necessary to stop the murders of these innocent people, and she took it upon herself to do it. She traveled to various towns and spoke to families of victims. Wells wrote countless articles addressing this issue and had to flee to New York and then to Chicago to avoid getting lynched herself because of the tension that her writings were causing. Wells expressed her beliefs openly in hopes that she would make a difference for her fellow blacks one day. Ida B. Wells founded the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People along with many other individuals, including W.E.B. Du Bois. This action was taken in response to the lynchings and the riot in Springfield, Illinois in 1908. Their goal was to grant all people living in the United States of America the rights promised by the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments of the Constitution. Wells was active in this association and worked to make the lives better for people all around the world. Along with joining the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Wells also joined the National Women's Suffrage Association. It was the largest suffrage organization in the United States of America and was one of the crucial factors in granting women the right to vote. Wells showed great leadership skills in this organization. She stood up for the black race here too by refusing to stand separately by the white suffragists in this movement. As it can be seen, Wells stayed true to her beliefs and expressed them openly in every aspect of her life. She was respected by the black race and was seen as a strong leader during this time. Ida B. Wells dedicated her whole life to her crusades and movements. Despite the many struggles that she faced as a child, Wells fought for blacks' rights. She was one of the few women who stood up for what she believed in and spoke out. Wells spread her message across the United States of America and in parts of Europe as well. She left behind hope and determination for the young generation. All of her hard work and struggles created a powerful legacy for her to leave behind. Ida B. Wells passed away on March 25, 1931, but her soul was still alive in the hearts of her fellow blacks, in the pages of her written works, and in the mind of many leaders just like her that were yet to come.